all issuing statewide mask mandates today, and months into this now, President Trump, for a second day in a row, making the point that masks make a difference. Medics with the South Carolina National Guard called in to help 5 hospitals, now overwhelmed with patients in that state. Family heartbreak in Arizona tonight. A pregnant mother infected with the virus, dying while in labor. Her final words, "Everything will be okay. Take care of my son." The baby survived. And new concerns tonight about testing in Black and Hispanic communities in parts of this country. Authorities say they are understaffed and have longer wait times. And the new study in the New England Journal of Medicine tonight on antibodies and how quickly they might fade after initial infection. ABC's Victor Kendo leads us off from Florida tonight.
Tonight, coronavirus cases soaring to new records in California, surpassing New York State, now with the most cases in the country 4 months into the pandemic. 60% of cases in Los Angeles County are among young adults. Officials fearing another stay-at-home order may be necessary.
In fact, COVID-19 appears to be on track to becoming one of the leading causes of death in LA County.
With the national daily death toll topping 1,000 for the first time in 2 weeks, more states are now making masks mandatory to try to stop the spread. The governors of Ohio, Indiana, and Minnesota joining a growing list of at least 31 states announcing new orders today.
With this mask mandate and with the things that we have done previously to this, I think it is very possible for us to not have the darker days behind us, but for us to start moving forward.
President Trump refusing to issue a nationwide mask order, holding a coronavirus briefing for the second day in a row, urging Americans,
wear a mask, socially distance, and repeatedly wash your hands. You have to do this. You have to look at it differently.
The president then making an appeal to younger Americans.
We want young Americans to avoid packed bars and other crowded indoor gatherings, and we're all in this together. And as Americans, we're going to get this complete. We're going to do it properly.
And 24 hours after the president said the virus would disappear, Dr. Anthony Fauci disagreeing.
I don't see this disappearing. We are certainly not at the end of the game. I'm not even sure we're halfway through.
9 states setting records for hospitalizations, including Florida, where ICUs are filling up. Hospitals are forced to find extra space for incoming COVID patients.
So it's been a daily process of
Portland as a result of this federal action. That's what we call tyranny and dictatorship. And we are not having it in Chicago.
And David, that shooting outside of this funeral home behind me here is just the latest in a sharp increase of violent crime here in Chicago. Murders are up 51% compared to last year. The feds insist they're coming in to help with that problem, not to silence protesters. David?
All right, Alex Perez tonight from Chicago. Thanks, Alex. And now to that alarming new headline at Fort Hood, Texas. For the 3rd time in a month, the body of a soldier from the base has been found nearby. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos on this again tonight.
Tonight, the Army revealing an investigation is underway into the death of a Fort Hood soldier found near the Texas Army base, the 3rd time in a month. Private Muir was found Friday at a reservoir minutes away from the post. Hunter Prophet served with him in Georgia.
We hung out, did a lot of things, and then I see this thing come up last night from a lot of my battle buddies. They're like, Morta never did anything to anybody.
On June 19th, the remains of Private Gregory Weedle Morales were discovered after he was last seen in August 2019 outside the base. His mother grieving for him and now the Mortas.
We're just now getting Gregory back to Oklahoma. I hope they get answers faster.
The remains of Specialist Vanessa Guillet were found June 30th after she vanished from the base in April. Authorities allege another soldier killed and buried her. He killed himself after police confronted him. A civilian who authorities say helped him dispose of her body has pleaded not guilty to conspiracy to tamper with evidence.
A Fort Hood spokesperson tells me Private Mortas had been missing for a day before he was found. Authorities say a preliminary autopsy ruled his death a drowning. David.
All right, Stephanie Ramos. Steph, thank you. Overseas tonight, new questions about whether President Trump pressured the UK to move the famed British Open to his resort in Scotland. ABC News confirming tonight Ambassador Woody Johnson allegedly told colleagues the president asked him to convince the British government to make the move. Here's our White House correspondent, Rachel Scott, tonight.
Tonight, new questions about whether the president tried to convince the UK to move the British Open to his Turnberry golf resort in Scotland.
Everybody comes here. They all want to come to Turnberry.
The New York Times reports that in 2018, the president's ambassador to the UK, billionaire Woody Johnson, told multiple colleagues Trump pressured him to try and make the move happen. Johnson's former deputy, Louis Lukens, tells ABC News he warned the ambassador it would be unethical for the president to use his office for personal profit. Lukens says Johnson still pitched the idea to Scotland's Secretary of State David Mundell. A spokesperson for the British government says that conversation never happened.
No, I never spoke to Woody Johnson about that, about Turnberry. Turnberry is a highly respected course, as you know, one of the best in the world.
But the president has not been shy about using his stature to promote his own properties. Just last year, he chose his Doral resort in Miami to hold the G7 summit.
We have a series of magnificent buildings. We call them bungalows. They each hold from 50 to 70 very luxurious rooms with magnificent views.
Eventually facing withering criticism, the president reversed course.
David, tonight the ambassador to the UK, Woody Johnson, is also under fire, accused of making racist and sexist remarks. One report claiming he said he prefers to work with women because they are cheaper and work harder than men. Tonight, Johnson is denying those allegations. David?
Our White House correspondent, Rachel Scott, tonight. Rachel, thank you. When we come back, that